The movie opens with two brothers, Shawn and Nick, enjoying themselves with two beautiful girls. When they are about to get intimate, the girls' fathers arrive at the scene. The girls warn them about their fathers approaching, and the boys decide to get out of the place as fast as they can. Shawn jumps from the window, while Nick fools the fathers and runs towards their car. Just as the duo thinks that they've escaped, they notice the fathers following them. After a short chase, they hit a dead end and are forced to leave their car and jump over a fence, which lands them in a pool. There, they find two beautiful girls and start flirting with them. In the next scene, as the two are playing football for their college team, their eyes are fixed on the girls in the audience. This enrages their coach as they are on the verge of losing the game. However, Shawn scores an important point and wins the game for the team. At the college, Nick and Shawn are very popular with the girls. Nick is hooked up with so many girls that he doesn't even remember their names. Later, a girl named Jennifer approaches them and seems to be a fan of Nick, and she invites them to a bonfire that night. Just then, their football coach arrives and informs them that they have to attend a football camp for 2 weeks, which is being organized in Texas. Nick and Shawn are sad to hear that because they have to spend 2 weeks without any interaction with girls. At night, while enjoying the bonfire, Shawn and Nick discuss being upset that they'll have to spend 2 weeks without any girls. As they are talking, they overhear some girls discussing their cheer camp, where more than 300 girls will be present. Hearing this, Nick decides to ditch the football camp and join the cheer camp instead, so that he can be with new girls. At first, Shawn refuses, but after a bit of convincing from Nick, he reluctantly agrees. After that, they approach the cheer group leader, Carly, and try to persuade her to let him join the group. Carly is the smart girl who is well aware of the boys' intentions, hence, she declines their request. The next day, Nick and Shawn visit their little sister, Poppy, as she is also going to the cheer camp. Poppy also seems to be well aware of her brother's intentions. She agrees to help them get into the cheer group only if Shawn will hand over his room to her. Later, Poppy, Shawn, and Nick are at a park trying to get a frisbee that got stuck on a tree branch. Seeing Poppy's cheer group friends approaching, Nick and Shawn lift Poppy high up in the air and catch her smoothly. Poppy's friends are impressed by their flexibility and athleticism. Shawn and Nick also mention their intent to join the cheer group. In the following scene, Poppy's friends visit Carly to persuade her to take Shawn and Nick into their group, but she refuses again. Because of this, the girls visit their coach, Miss Klingerhoff, to make her understand the importance of the boys in the group. Hearing this, she quickly agrees to recruit them. Meanwhile, when the boys approach their football coach, Burns, he does not take the news of their abandoning the football camp well. Later, we see the boys getting onto the college bus to head over to the cheer camp with the girls. Carly seems to be really interested in cheering, as she keeps on cheering every single little thing on the way, like driving, eating, and so on. The boys get really frustrated by her controlling leadership. Shortly after they reach the camp, they see a large number of beautiful girls warming up. Nick mentions that he feels like they had an accident and are in heaven. Soon, the boys start to interact with the girls around them. Panthers, the team who is known to be the regular winner of the cheerleading competition, visits Carly's team, Tigers, and talks smack, saying that they're here to beat them and win. However, Carly comes back by saying that this time, their team is different, and they have 2 boys on the team. Later, they're addressed by the head coach, Keith, and informed that they will be trained for 3 weeks and should participate in the final competition. If they are able to win the competition, the winner will get the chance to participate at the state championships. During the announcement, Nick sets his eye on the female coach, Diora, who completely dismisses him. We also see the boys hitting on every other girl at the camp. The next day, while the Tigers are practicing their cheer routine, the Panthers seem to be jealous of their forms. Shawn, on the other hand, can be seen trying his best to impress Carly. While they are talking, Carly's boyfriend, Rick, shows up, and the two kiss passionately in front of Shawn and Nick. Seeing Carly happy with Rick, Shawn gets a bit jealous. Carly introduces the boys to Rick and tells them about how they met each other. Later, Rick takes Carly for a drive and dinner. In the next scene, Nick is trying to pick up some girls with Shawn, but he seems to be sad. Nick asks him what's bothering him, and Shawn reveals that it's Carly. Seeing his bro distressed, Nick reminds him that they are there to hook up with new girls only, and not with ones from their school. The same night, we can see Team Scorpions swimming and practicing their forms in a nearby creek. The boys join them and enjoy a great time with the girls. While they are still in the water, a raccoon appears out of nowhere and steals Nick and Shawn's clothes. After swimming, the brothers look for their clothes but fail to find them. Because of this, Nick and Shawn run back towards their bunk naked. To their horror, they are spotted by head coach Keith. who stops them to ask what they're doing. Shawn replies that they are practicing cheering in the nude. Keith asks them for a demo of their moves, and rather than being angry at them, he points out their errors and areas for improvement. The following day, the Tigers can be seen practicing their forms, while Shawn is still flirting with Carly. The Panthers are also there, but they are rehearsing a very hard form known as the Fountain of Troy. In fact, it is so hard and dangerous that it has been forbidden at the event. Nevertheless, the group continues to practice until one member falls from a height and injures herself badly. At night, all the cheer camp members are watching a movie and trying to recite every line in the movie. Enjoying their time with two new ladies, Shawn asks Nick to accompany him to take a peek. On their way, Shawn opens up his feelings and tells Nick that he has started thinking that the idea of hooking up with other girls is wrong. Rick arrives with his friends and mentions that he has been with girls other than Carly. Hearing this, Shawn becomes enraged and decides to tell Carly about Rick's activities. As he's about to do so, Rick intervenes and takes Carly away for dinner. Shawn, however, succeeds in making Rick understand that he knows about him cheating on Carly. The next day at training, while Shawn and Carly go to fill the water cooler, Nick tries to flirt with Coach Tiora again. However, she shuns him like before. Later, Nick meets up with Shawn and shows him the bus tickets he bought for them to return to their college. He feels like it has already been 2 weeks and now it's time to return. However, Shawn refuses to go with him because he wants to spend more time with Carly. He also wants to help his team till the end of the tournament. Nick gets really angry hearing this, but eventually agrees to stay with Shawn for the sake of their relationship. The two then change their clothes and go out for training. While training, it is obvious that the Tigers are not completely confident about their performance or their method of practice. Because of this, Shawn tries to motivate them by telling them that the Panthers don't win the competition because they practice hard, but rather because they believe in themselves, that they're capable of it. Carly also supports Shawn's words and the whole team is motivated to work hard. Because of this, the boys get affection and appreciation from the girls. However, their moment of glory is short-lived as Rick approaches and tells the girls that Shawn and Nick were actually planning to leave the competition in the middle and return home. Furious, Carly mentions that she was well aware that the boys were into girls, but she was unaware that they were going to abandon them in the middle of the competition. Shawn tries to make her understand that that was their previous plan, and now they've decided to leave only after the competition ends. Just then, Rick reads some lines from Nick's personal diary, which he has written for Coach Giora. Hearing this, an enraged Carly hands them the return tickets and asks them to leave. While Shawn is devastated by the incident, Nick gets attention from Diora and also a soft kiss on his cheeks. After returning from the cheer camp, the boys learn that they actually like the cheer camp and want their squad to win. So, they make the decision to return to the camp and assist the squad in the tournament. Nick and Shawn enter the cheer camp at night and try to convince Carly to let them back in the squad. Carly refuses at first, but after the other girls tell her that they can only win if they have the boys in their squad, she agrees. In the next scene, it's competition day, and various teams are putting up their performances. The Panthers put on an amazing performance, which makes the Tigers a bit nervous. Soon, it's their turn and the whole team gets up on stage. While performing, Carly notices Rick flirting with the Panthers' leader, Gwyneth. Enraged, she gets into it with Shawn, and the two eventually decide to perform the prohibited stunt, the Fountain of Troy. Shawn tries his best to motivate Carly and asks her to focus on the act. After a bit of discussion with the squad, they manage to pull off the dangerous Fountain of Troy. But Shawn gets injured in the process and falls unconscious. Everyone in the audience cheers for them, including their friends and football coach. After some time, when Shawn gains consciousness, he asks Carly if they won the competition. Carly replies that they ranked 19th, 10 positions better than they got last year. Then, Carly kisses Shawn in the middle of them talking. But Rick arrives and separates them. While Rick is threatening Shawn, Carly steps in front and breaks up with him, as she knows all about him now. She then asks Shawn if he would like to date her. Elsewhere, Nick also seems to have gotten his dream girl, Diora. She calls him at night and is enjoying a good time with him until her husband, Keith, arrives.